What is grace? Grace is God at work in a man. God at work. Jesus had grace. And you heard what he said? John 14:10. The Father in me, he doeth the work. The Father that dwells in me, he doeth the work. The people around you will frustrate you, but something is working on your inside that makes you speak words that cannot be turned down. That makes you speak with wisdom, and they say, hey, give him the job. Give it to him. He's the one who can do it. Give it to him. Why are you wasting time? Graceful people are never turned down. They are elevated and enthroned. That's what will be happening to you beginning from this week. Philippians 2:13, God is at work in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. Grace is a cap upon power. It excels and exceeds power. What again is grace? Grace is key to emergence of destiny.
Welcome, people of God, to Today Devotional channel. If you're new here, please, we'd like you to subscribe on YouTube and follow us on Facebook. You can also do well to like, share, and comment so that others will get to see this video. God bless you.
Your grace. Paul said, I did not receive the grace in vain, but I labored more than all of them. Grace is not a replacement of labor. No. It's a complement and completer of works. It is the coloring. You build and then grace will come and color it. Are you there? God is a good God. Now, very brisk definitions, therefore. What is grace? Just a few. Number one, in the light of all that we have shared and from scriptures, grace is divine presence in human system. Divine presence in human system. Divine presence in human system. If you like, it is divinity at work in humanity. Divinity at work in humanity that is making a divine being from among human beings. Grace is making divine beings from among human beings. Exceptional, different species, different divinity coming upon human activity. That's what makes grace strange. Again, you remember the story of Moses in Exodus chapter 33, verses 13 and 14. He specifically prayed. Please listen to this, please. I've told you before that grace is the embodiment of God, which means that grace comes to us through divine presence. If I found grace in thy sight, shew me now thy way, that I may know thee, that I may find grace in your sight, and consider that this nation is your people. What was God's answer? Verse 14. And he said, my presence shall go with you. He was praying for grace. God was answering with his presence. So what does that mean? Grace means divine presence. And as a result, I will give you rest. Grace makes destiny restful. Ask me why I feel restful at all times. Grace at work. Grace at work. Before then, in verses 2 and 3, God told them, I will not go with you, but I will send an angel before thee, and I will drive out the Canaanites and the Amorites and all of them, the Jebusites, all the sites, and the tithes, unto a land flowing with milk and honey, for I will not go up in the midst of thee, because you are a stiff-necked people, lest I consume thee in the way. It was in response to that Moses was now praying for grace. He preferred God's presence than angels' presence. Please listen to me very, very. Because if you offend angels, they will slap you. Angels, they don't get reverse gear. They don't get reverse gear. You make mistake, you pay for it. Permit me to say this. Many pastors may not like that. Go for God's presence than pastor's presence. I'm a pastor, so if you think I'm speaking contrary, I'm speaking against myself. But I'm speaking to reality of life. Because I may not be available. Other pastors may not be available the time you need them. Go and know God. That's the point I'm making. Go and know God. More than you know any other person. That is not to talk low of pastoral system or other ministries. No. Not at all. We need pastors. We need apostles. We need prophets. Because there is something they carry. They have grace that can help you to make up while you are looking for the greater grace. It's just like in the human system, you have brothers, you have uncles who can help you out for a while before your father will return. Or before you get in touch with your father. Uncle, can you help me? I need something there. I've been trying that day, I couldn't get him. Then uncle send you something. But uncle may not be disposed to send you something all the time. It may come to a time, he looks at the phone ringing. Who's calling me again? They won't let me rest. They want to finish me. But your father will never say so. Fathers don't dodge. Uncles may dodge. Brothers may dodge. They may even tell, am I the one who gave back to you? Don't kill me. Oh. I have my family to keep now. But there is something in every father that moves towards you. That's what we are saying. Occasionally, not all the time. Pastors may go to sleep, like myself. I may not hear your phone ringing. Because the pastor too has flesh. He needs to rest. Am I right, pastors? Amen. I know all of us are doing the best we should to cater for people and serve people. But these are realities of life. Now, I release grace upon you. Shout it, I receive it. Quickly, what is grace? Grace is divine treasure in earthen vessels. 2 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 7. For we have these treasures in earthen vessel, in human body, that the excellency of power, look at the word excellence, not power, the excellence. So there's something beyond power. Where power stops, the thing that takes over may be of God or from God and not of us. Grace is the excellency of power. I call it the cap of power. Traditionally, in Africa and several other nations that believes in complete dressing, the last thing you put on is your cap. It shows that you are complete in your tradition. Even English people have their hat that they wear. And that's what grace does. Power dresses you, but grace caps you. From this day, everywhere you appear, the cap of grace will show. Another loud amen. The cap of grace will show. What more? What is grace? Grace is God at work in a man. God at work. Jesus had grace. And you heard what he said? John 14:10. The Father in me, he doeth the work. The Father that dwells in me, he doeth the work. The people around you will frustrate you, but something is working on your inside that makes you speak words that cannot be turned down. That makes you speak with wisdom, and they say, hey, give him the job. Give it to him. He's the one who can do it. Give it to him. Why are you wasting time? Graceful people are never turned down. They are elevated and enthroned. That's what will be happening to you beginning from this week. Philippians 2:13, God is at work in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. Grace is a cap upon power. It excels and exceeds power. What again is grace? Grace is key to emergence of destiny. You know, there are people who are seriously laboring, working very hard, yet the tides are working against him. I mean, there are people you see, you know, they are very hardworking. They are compliant to the rules of work. They don't joke with their work. Very hardworking, diligent, yet it's not showing. Grace is what turns us to a show. Again, Zechariah chapter 4, verse 7. Very important scriptures. The later part of it. And he shall bring forth the headstone. The headstone. Now, building specialist, understand what I'm talking about. You can build a house with 2 billion and it's not